What's up guys, my name is DeadVerse and let's cover the AN-94 assault rifle in Call of Duty Black Ops 7 Zombies, which honestly is a pretty unique weapon. The AN-94 shoots its first 2 rounds at a faster fire rate and the rest at a set fire rate, which makes it pretty good for headshots. We are playing on Kowakujo, which is the Japanese team map in this game, and I just love the fact that many of the locations here are actually pretty close quarters, meaning that stamina up is actually very useful for us. And then from here what we're going to do of course is eliminate these zombies, and then from here continue on to the next area. One of the unique elements of this map is that we need to recapture the awards by staying in these blue circles, and like I said, it's basically like domination from multiplayer, and the idea is that you need to make sure that you try to avoid staying outside of the circle. And for us, we're going to use this energy mine and just making sure we can kill the zombies that are right in front of us. And like I said, it can be a little bit challenging because of course you do run out of ammo pretty quickly. However, for us, honestly, you just have to move and just making sure you get certain power-ups. I mean, double points does help a little bit, but I would say instant kill is best. One perk that will help us a lot is actually speed cola. Now, funny enough, the AN-94 actually does reload pretty quickly, but it's like, you know, it's always good to have faster reloads regardless. And the fact that it has 50 rounds, I mean, that's actually pretty decent because of course it's classed up, man, it does really good against these zombies, and I'm pretty happy about that. Time to recapture the second ward, and honestly, energy mine is one of the best field upgrades you can use for this, and of course this weapon because of the fact that it has pretty good headshot damage. And then from here, what we're going to do just keep on moving around, just making sure that of course we can recapture as quickly as possible. And then from here, look at that, we actually did really well so far. I like that. One thing I really do like about Kowakujo is this blossom tree. I mean, I feel like it stands out on this map, and just because of the fact that it's just cool to see. I mean, we have seen a lot of trees in the past, but just this tree makes it even more special just because it symbolizes a lot about Japanese culture and the way it represents it. It's time to kill the Oni, which is the main boss of this map, and so far what we're going to do of course is use the AN-94, and look at that, it does really good damage against them. Now of course the energy mine is doing really good. Now let's just get the Shogun's Hanku and keep on going from there. To get Pack-a-Punch, all we need to do is kill these purple zombies, and so far the AN-94, I mean look at that, it's easily killing these zombies with no problem. Let's just get the rest of these zombies because of course we're able to unlock Pack-a-Punch in a bit, and then from here let's just make sure we take advantage of elemental pop, use our C4, and then from there we're pretty good so far. Time to upgrade the AN-94 and let's see how it does, and man, we get 100 rounds, it's actually pretty nice. So far it's able to kill zombies pretty good. Now the good thing is that of course we have power-ups here which are going to help us to get more points and of course be able to kill the zombies much quicker, especially that insta-kill. One of the coolest elements of Kowakujo is the fact that we get to fight on the roof of the castle. I was surprised because I was thinking, it's just probably going to be some castle where you just go inside and do the usual, but the fact that you can be on top of the roof and of course fight the zombies, I just feel like it just makes of a more immersive experience because it's like, oh, I get to do something different than the usual, which is always shooting zombies. It does take about a minute or so, which is the only downside, and I would say, you know, compared to the other special rounds which you can finish pretty quickly, this one does take a while. Now I will say it is different compared to the other maps because of course you have to defend certain statues, whereas on the other maps you just have to kill the zombies that are right in front of you. Time to get kills with the AN-94 while crouching, and the good thing is that with the AN-94's great penetration power and the fact that it has really good headshot damage, we're able to kill zombies pretty quickly, and I just feel like overall it's actually a pretty viable weapon. And now the fact is that we're about to get to the highest rarity possible, and now let's check out the chest to see what we got. Time to open it up, and of course we got depth perception. I mean, it's pretty good on this map. This is actually the first time I found depth perception to be useful because of course, I mean, when you think about perks, you never think about grabbing that perk. However, in this case, since you need it for the Necromancer Easter egg as well as PhD Flopper, it's like it's pretty great to see those 2 perks being used. Now I will say some people might not like that because it's like, why do we have to use perks? But at the same time, it also encourages you to know more about the perk and the way it functions, especially on multiple maps in this game. Time to get some Juggernaut, and I just love the fact that on most of the maps it's actually like in the center, which is pretty useful. I mean, it makes sense. It's like the health perk, and of course you always need that. And I just love the fact that with having Mule Kick, we have so much ammo in this game, almost like 900 rounds, which is pretty insane. And then from here, of course, they just keep on shooting them in the head, just trying to get many zombies as possible. Now I got Energy Mine, and like I said, Energy Mine is super good on this map. The AN-94 is actually pretty good against the Oni. I mean, you have Shadow Rift, which easily kills them, which funny enough, it actually took me a while to figure that out. I was using other ammo mods, and I was like, which ammo mod works best with this gun? I really didn't know. My first instinct was Shatter Blast because I'm like, that ammo mod I feel like hasn't really been useful in this game, and unfortunately it's not his main weakness. Then I tried Dead Wired and of course Brain Rot, and I just couldn't find anything else, but I was like, you know what, Shadow Rift is always used in this game, let me try it out. Also, Wisp T is pretty good against them. I mean, the fact is that you have a Wisp that easily kills zombies, and I just feel like anytime I encounter them, it just makes a huge big difference. Now one thing I do want to discuss about this map is that Kowakujo has one of the most controversial main Easter egg steps completed ever. And I just feel like for a fact is that, oh, was it cheated? Was it not? Honestly, there are many sides to this argument. Some people say it was, some people say it wasn't. Now for me, I want to explain more about what I think personally. Us as a zombies community, our right is to always make sure that we work together and try to figure out ways to solve problems. And I feel like if we're trying to do the easy way out, it's like unfortunately, it's going to harm all of us, because at the end of the day, we want to have fun and we want to engage with each other. And I just feel like, especially in this game, you know, where like most of the time we just feel like we don't really get supported enough. And it's like when we see people do these things, it's like to us it's unfortunate, because I'm like, man, that really does suck, because it kills the fun and the wonder of everything that goes on in this game, like Easter eggs or just finding out something that's unique and special. This is why sometimes this like leaks, because I feel like it could ruin the fun and excitement for new and of course returning players. And let's think of it this way: what if there was early AN-94 footage even though the gun hadn't come out yet? It's like it would suck, because then we wouldn't know how the gun truly performed in zombies, because of course this is modern zombies we're talking about. And I just feel like that would really suck, because it's like we wouldn't have the opportunity to truly see how it does. And I just feel like now that I can show you guys, it's like this gun's pretty good, and I feel like it would be very popular in this game. The best way to be successful in a zombies community is just finding ways to make our lives easier, you know, better gun setups, or just being able to just do logical steps that make sense, and instead of just trying to figure out ways to hack the system. Time to upgrade our AN-94 to Pack-a-Punch 2, and ooh, look at that dragon camo. It's like a turquoise color. I really like that. And so far, I mean, you can see how well it does against these zombies. I mean, we easily got that horde out of our hands. How does double tap change things? I mean, look at that. Fire rate definitely increased by a lot. Now, I feel like my bullets are running out much quicker, but the good thing is that, of course, with the right augments, we're able to do more bullet penetration damage, and of course, more damage over time as we're just shooting these zombies. I do see that Oni, but luckily we got him. Oh my gosh, I almost died right there by that lava. And it's crazy, because the lava, you can't even jump from it, which is like nuts. I would have thought, oh, maybe you can jump, but unfortunately it like keeps you in that one position. But at the same time, it's like, you know what, it makes you think maybe I should watch out from that lava. One thing I love about Kowakujo is the fact there are different types of enemies on this map. I mean, you have the Scorched Zombies, which are basically the fire zombies, the Hellhounds, which are the dogs, and of course the Oni's boss special enemy, which I just defeated right there. And I just feel like so far in this game, it's like pretty cool to see that. Just because, of course, every map has something unique. I mean, with Thornrake, you had the Frozen Zombies and, of course, Necropincer. And I just feel like in this map is a continuation of that, but, of course, in the Fireland, which is pretty cool to see. Time to buy some PhD Flopper, and it's crazy, man. PhD Flopper used to be one of those perks where it's like, I feel like they neglected for so many years, and the fact that we finally have it in this game, I mean, granted, it wasn't Black Ops 6, but I feel like now having it in this game is much better, because, of course, you got some pretty good explosive weapons like the M1911, the Arrow 109, and I just feel like in this game it's like very needed. And of course you have the sliding effect, and then especially for the Easter egg. I mean, we know that the PhD Flopper perk is very essential for that, and I feel like in this game it's even better. This area, known as Hillside, is only accessible once you open up the whole map of Kowakujo. I remember the first time I started playing this map, and I was like, how do you even open this area? Like, do you have to throw grenades there? Do you have to jump over it? But I realized that once I open up the whole map, all of a sudden I see it opened up, and I'm like, ah, that's pretty cool. I just hope that more maps implement that in the future. I love secret areas or rooms on maps anytime you're doing like Easter egg steps, or you just open up the map in general, because of course sometimes there could be secret perks in there, or weapon wall buys, or pack-a-punch, or anything new that I feel like makes the map more unique and stand out. And especially on this map, I mean, that hillside, of course, you know, you don't even have to go through there, but at the same time it's like a pretty good addition, because of course you can use PhD Flopper or maybe some type of equipment, and especially the fact that we have Volt Trade, I can get some more salvage, I can use some score streaks, and just anything that's very useful for us. And I feel like in this case, I mean, it's always good to have regardless of where you're at. A pretty good combination to use is definitely decoys and Shadow Rift, just because of the fact that using decoys helps with, of course, distracting the zombies, and then Shadow Rift helps with pulling in the zombies. And I just feel like for a fact it just makes the game a whole lot easier. And of course using Energy Mine, just because of course anytime you have like 5 more or more zombies, it just makes it so I can kill them. Now one thing I will say though that is kind of disappointing is that the Oni is actually a special enemy. It's not an elite enemy, which kind of sucks, because I was hoping that we had more elite enemies. I mean, so far we have Uber Claws and of course Xursas, but I feel like that's still not enough. A great way to use Shadow Rift is definitely training, just because of the fact that, of course, you saw all those zombies disappear. I mean, that was pretty useful, and I just feel like in this case, just being able to have so many zombies near you really does help. Now, of course, let me just get this Oni out of the way. I do see that Grim Reaper right there. Maybe I'll grab it in a bit. But so far, let me just get these zombies right here. And I have Energy Mine, so I'm probably going to go near that area just to make sure, of course, I can get those zombies off my hands. Let me grab that. Let me just get these ones. And man, these zombies don't even stand a chance. Another feature that this map has is that certain areas of the map will become covered in smoke, which means is that you can't really get any more health unless you're out of that area. Which I will say is pretty unique, just because of course sometimes we do camp or like the train, but I feel like having this makes this okay, you're forced to actually think of new ways to play the map instead of just okay, training around as usual. Now of course I'm showing you guys that's pretty effective, however I do need to get out of this area so I can recover my health back. Time for another Soif, and one thing I will say is that these actually don't come as often as you would have liked, which I will say is a good thing because of course having to do these like every 5 to 6 rounds would be pretty annoying, honestly pretty tiring. Let me just pop this insta-kill because of course I still have these gobblegums and I want to use them, and I just feel like insta-kill just makes this so much easier. Now of course I did activate the Ghostman, which helped with being able to kill the zombies or dogs or scorch zombies, but it's always good to have insta-kill regardless. Right now our main goal is just to get these zombies and dogs off of these statues because of course if we don't, we have to recapture the wards that we captured earlier, and of course we don't want to do that at all. We only got a few more seconds left, and luckily for us we're about to get our max ammo. Let me just get rid of these zombies and of course get these other ones over here. Come on zombies, die already. And then from here, luckily for us, the max ammo is going to spawn in, and we got that pretty easily. Time to train around the blossom tree, and let's use energy mines so we can get these zombies off of our hands. And luckily for us, we can easily get this Oni. One thing I will say about the Oni that I don't like is the fact that he spawns in every single round, and I'm like, you know, I don't mind special enemies doing that, but at the same time it's like the Oni, it just does it so many times. And of course with his electrical attack, it can be very annoying to deal with. But at the same time, it is nice to have a different enemy that's like a change of pace. I mean, it has range attacks and of course melee attacks. And of course the design of the Oni is reflective of Japanese culture, and I just love the fact that the zombies in this map, I mean, you could easily tell like you feel immersed in this area, and I just feel like just the fact that it takes place in Japan. I mean, of course we've had Japanese maps before, but I feel like this one just having the castle is really nice to see. Now that we're in onsen bats, let's just kill these zombies that we have right here. This area is not that bad, but I will say the destructive elements of this area just make it a little bit more challenging to deal with. Now let me just get this Oni off of our hands, and luckily for us we do have the dog score streak because I was like, you know what, let's just activate it. It's been a while since I've used it, and I'm like, it's always good to use regardless. And then from here, let me just throw some impact grenades, and then from here let me just keep on shooting the zombies, and man, there's so many of them, it's crazy. But the good thing of course is we have this powerful AN-94, that's no problem for us. Let me just slide over here, get these zombies that are right in front of me. And man, these zombies are getting more and more tough as we keep on going. Time to upgrade the AN-94 to pack up in stream. Let's see how we do against the horde. And so far we're able to kill him pretty quickly. I mean, it's round 30, and honestly it's really impressive. Now of course it did take me a while to upgrade this weapon because of course, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, I did lose some perks, and that was kind of annoying. I was going to show you guys how I got down, but I was like, nah, it just didn't look as interesting as I thought it would. But luckily so far we got Casimirs, and man, we're just shredding down the Onis and the zombies and literally just making it through alive easily with no problem, which I really like. Time to get critical kills, and luckily with the fast fire rate and of course high magazine ammo capacity, we're able to easily kill these zombies without any challenges. One thing I will say, of course, I would say having Deadshot is definitely much better. Currently we don't have that, but the good thing is that this gun, the AN-94, still kills them pretty quickly. I mean, I will say for one thing is that we're able to easily achieve this highest tier rarity, and then let's see what we get from this chest. And now we got some pretty goodies, especially that self revive and of course quick revive. It's great to see the AN-94 back. I mean, for one, the iron sights are really good on this weapon. I just feel like for the fact that it just makes it so much easier to see zombies. You know, I've noticed recently that Treyarch has released some weapons that have like some controversial iron sights, but I feel like the AN-94 is one of the few where it's like pretty nice to look at, and it's just the fact that it's just super clean, similar to like the Scars or like the Vector's iron sights from previous Call of Duty games. And I just love that because it just makes it so that I can use my attachments on other parts of this weapon. Time to get Deadshot from the Wonder Fist machine, and let's see how we do against the zombies with the AN-94. And combining Deadshot with double tap is very good because now we get to do massive damage, especially just shooting at these zombies. One thing I will say though is that Kowakujo is the only map that doesn't have Deadshot as the official perk, as the other perks are on the map, which is kind of strange. I mean, I get it, Deadshot is not as important of a perk in this map, but at the same time it's just like, why can't they exclude any other perks? It just feels kind of odd, but at the same time it's like, you know what, I do like that because at the same time it makes you want to buy perks from the Wonder Fist machine. Now in this case we're fighting on the roof because of course I love fighting on the roof. I mean, it's just so cool. It just feels so much different compared to indoors. One of the benefits of being on the roof is that you get to see the full blossom tree that's in the background, and this blossom tree actually has an Easter egg referencing Tom Kane as the voice of Takeo, and it's actually a tribute to him, which is pretty great. And I just feel like it's actually one of the best ways to commemorate someone, just because of the fact that, I mean, he contributed a lot to the zombies community, and it just feels great that, you know, we will always remember him. Now of course in this gameplay you get to see, it's just cool that we're fighting on a Japanese map because of course Kowakujo relates to Takeo's character, and I just feel like it was just perfect tribute for Tom Kane. and honestly I'm just glad that the zombies community came together to mourn his loss and to always remember him. Time to continue on with the assault waves. Now like I said, at first when I was playing the assault waves, I was like, is this going to be fun or not? Luckily it's actually not that bad. I mean, for one, I will say that, you know, having the ghostman and just being able to kill the zombies, it actually doesn't take that long of a time. Now of course you always gotta watch out because there's always an uncertainty that comes with this step. But the good thing for us is that we're able to easily get these zombies out of our way. Of course the dogs and the scorched zombies. And I always like to use energy mine because of course that always helps us in these steps. Fun fact, if you beat the Kowakujo main Easter egg, the dragon that appears in the background, which is called Nexara, she actually does not appear anymore. And I mean, it makes sense once you beat the Easter egg. Of course I won't spoil anything, but I will say, like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's pretty cool. Now of course what we're going to do is just get rid of these zombies. She is a Shadow Smith after all, and of course we know that Shadow Smiths do get defeated on every single map, but maybe the last map will be different. Time to get zombies kills while standing still, and let's see how we do with the AN-94. Man, now the fact that we have all the perks, look at that, we were easily able to get our second highest rarity. Let's just keep on killing these zombies, and the AN-94 at its highest potential is actually pretty amazing. I mean, having Deadshot now, it just makes a huge difference. Now let's just see what we get from our chest. And ooh, we got a Pack-a-Punch crystal and stamina up. Let's go, baby. We didn't really need the crystal, but of course anytime I have like more weapons than this one, and it's like always great to have just in case I want to upgrade that weapon. Just because Pack-a-Punch is pretty expensive. I mean, granted we're playing standard and not curse mode, but at the same time standard it's like 30,000 essence or points, which is actually pretty a lot. And I just feel like especially in curse, like crystals are very useful in that game mode. Time to exfil Kowakujo with the AN-94 assault rifle, and let's see how we do against the main boss, which of course is going to be an Oni. Now let's see if we're able to kill him pretty quickly, but who knows. Now of course we're going to use a chalk charge, which unfortunately does not affect them, but the good thing is that with 100 rounds we're able to easily put him down. Dang, that was actually pretty fast, honestly. I was kind of surprised. Now of course I kept on shooting at him because it was quite annoying. Now from here I'm going to show you guys some of these specials, so just wait and see. This is the best class setup for the AN-94 assault rifle. For the muzzle, we're going to use the LTI Stentorian brake, which has improvements to fire rate, bullet deviation, and horizontal recoil control. For the barrel, we're going to use the 15-inch Benthic barrel, which allows higher damage to the head. For the underbarrel, we're going to use the Voss Convergence Foregrip, which allows benefits to bullet deviation, first 2-shot recoil control, and vertical recoil control. For the magazine, we're going to use the Rexford Extended 2, which allows more magazine ammo capacity up to 50 rounds. For the rear grip, we're going to use the Albatross Quick Grip, which allows benefits to aim down sight speed as well as for jumping. For the stock, we're going to use the Redwell Austral stock, which allows benefits to aim walking movement speed. For the laser, we're going to use the 5MW Lockstep laser, which allows benefits to hip fire to ADS accuracy. And lastly, for the fire mods, we're going to use the bulk carrier group to increase the fire rate overall. This has been a full breakdown of the AN-94 assault rifle and Call of Duty Black Ops 7 Zombies. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video.